Hi, I am Dr. Esther from Korea. Thank you for joining this Spiritual Bread TV. In instinct, people have desire to be recognized by people as they are or expect to enjoy their reward according to their own work. In the Bible, there is one person who could have been fall this kind of temptation. His name is Andrew. In the entire Bible, Andrew is mentioned all in all 12 times, but so often he is described as the Peter's brother. Considering the cultural background at the time and also the text, Peter seems to be older brother. Anyway, Andrew was the person who always stand behind Peter, who was an excellent brother, excellent disciple of Jesus. However, Andrew is very much worthy to be noticed. In order to think about Andrew, let's go back to the scene of feeding 5,000, including children and women. All in all, there are more than 20,000. At the time, the Passover, one of the greatest feasts for the Jews, was near. That's why so many people gathered together. During the Passover time, hundreds of thousands of people gather in Jerusalem. That's why we can easily guess why so many people followed Jesus after they saw miraculous signs done by Jesus on the sick people. But they are so hurried to follow Jesus. That's why there is not enough time to prepare food. And time came, they are very hungry. But that place was a remote place. That's why Jesus asked Philip to feed them, but it was test. Why Jesus asked Philip? Because Philip knew that area very well because he was from that area. Also, Philip was smart in calculations. Smart in calculations is very good, but the problem is that those smart people easily rely on their own wisdom, not rely on Jesus' wisdom. And Philip made a mistake. But anyway, Philip answered, "We need big money, a month wages." Obviously, Jesus' team didn't have that big money. Hearing this conversation quietly, Andrew introduced a boy with 5 small barley and 2 small fish to Jesus. And then what happened? Jesus received it and blessed it, and finally, a big crowd all were satisfied. Andrew was originally a disciple of John the Baptist. He was a fisherman like his brother Peter, which is a very hard job. But he was very, very hungry for the truth. So he became a disciple of John the Baptist at the time, who appeared as a comet. But because of the recommendation of John the Baptist, he immediately became the first disciple of Jesus. And you remember when Jesus entered the house of Peter, Jesus cured the mother-in-law of Peter. Then at the time, Andrew also was living with Peter. So we can guess Andrew naturally brought Peter to Jesus. And after that, Andrew introduced the Greeks to Jesus. They wanted to meet Jesus personally. So think of it. It is Andrew who brought individuals like Peter, boy, and Greeks to Jesus. That is why even today, some church or mission organizations prefer to use the name of Andrew when they have personal evangelization programs. Although Andrew was the first disciple of Jesus, he couldn't join the leading disciples like Peter, John, James. Who is Peter? While Jesus was on the earth, he was already the chief disciple. And after Jesus' resurrection, he converted 3,000 people through one sermon. And also Peter performed a lot of miracles. In this way, he was the top leader of early church before Paul. And who is John? John, who was particularly loved by Jesus, wrote a lot of books in NT. And James, we cannot confuse with the James of Jesus, who wrote one book in NT. Nevertheless, James also very, very important disciple. But Andrew was always behind these leading disciples, but he never complained. That's why in church history, so many writers praised Andrew, calling him as the model of the followers of Jesus. I think God exalted Andrew. So the characteristics of Andrew is that he always observed quietly behind the community, and then if he find the need of a community, he tried to do his best to meet the need of them. But he didn't mind about the people's recognition. Only his concern is to serve Jesus and the community. It is known Andrew was the first missionary as well, according to the extra biblical materials, including Apocrypha or the work of Origin Alexandra. So Andrew proclaimed the gospel in many areas in Europe and Asia, and then finally he was martyred in the place called the Patras, the western part of Greece. Obviously, we need prominent leaders like Peter, John, and James. But we need more people like Andrew who are standing and quietly behind the community and try to do their best to serve the Lord and the community. May the Lord bless so many His children so that so many Andrews rise up for His kingdom and for His glory. God bless you.